Sunny Gavaskar also joins us live now to analyze this game. Sunny bhai, let's first start and talk about that situation. Bangladesh were ahead as far as the Duckworth-Lewis system was concerned, ahead of India at that stage, but the game then resumes and then India end up winning the match. I'm just looking at it, let's say, from a Bangladesh perspective. Do you think that halt in play may have disrupted their momentum? It tends to happen in other formats as well. In Test cricket, as you know, sometime a lunch break, a tea break, then causes the batsman to lose concentration. Do you think that rain break was the one that, caused the momentum to be lost for Bangladesh?
Oh, absolutely. At that particular point of time, they got off to a 66 in just 7 overs. So we're talking about more than 9 runs an over. They were scoring quite comfortably. That was the asking rate. They had 10 wickets in hand. And suddenly when the target was reduced, only 4 overs were reduced. And the target was reduced by almost, 33 runs. And they somehow seem to have just panicked. Again, at that particular point of time, the asking rate was still the same as when they began with the first ball. So clearly, I think, they miscalculated. They started to, instead of playing smart cricket, they tried to, hit a 6 just about every ball. When at that particular point of time, trying to target the short square boundaries, the Indians bowled very cleverly, just outside the arc of the big shot. And therefore, the shots that otherwise, if it had been angled, would have gone for sixes, were caught at long on and at deep mid wicket. So I would say that Bangladesh lost the game rather than India won the game. Yes, India kept its nerve, but I think it was Bangladesh's batting which they just panicked and tried to play too many glory shots, too many sixer shots, and in the process got out. If they had played smart cricket, worked the ball around for twos, they would have got about 10 runs and over, and that's all that you need, the occasional boundary. But they'll try to play the glory shots, the sixer shot, and that's how they got out.
Right, I think Sunny bhai sums it best when he says it's Bangladesh who lost the game, not so much India winning, because the Bangladesh team panicked. But Sunny bhai, I'm going to talk to you about the game-changing moment. That run out by KL Rahul had only one stump to aim. A direct hit from outside the 30-yard circle, came in running when there was a bit of a wet outfield. Is it one of the best pieces of fielding that you've seen?
It was a magical moment, because also remember the fact that he had to come around, and then instead of hit, he could have, the easier option would have been to throw towards the wicket keeper's end, because that was the direction in which he was running, towards his left. But then to stop and turn and then hit towards the bowler's end took a lot of presence of mind. He might have seen through the corner of his eye as he went to pick up the ball that Litan Das had slipped a little bit, stuttered just a little bit in his attempt to come for the second run, and realized that was the end that was going to be more profitable than the end at the batting end.
So that was one turning point, but overall, what would you make of India's fielding? I know certain drop chances, and we criticized that fielding last time around versus South Africa. But today, apart from that KL Rahul fielding, some fantastic catches by Surya Kumar Yadav, Deepak Hooda, Arshdeep Singh. Do you think at the time that Bangladesh were panicking, the Indian fielding also stepped up?
Yes, I think the Indian fielding, after what we saw in the game against South Africa, they certainly had practiced a lot. And you could see that in the way they were throwing flat throws, not aerial throws. They were also taking their catches. They took just about everything that went up in the air. So that's so important when you're trying to, put the pressure on, because there's nothing like a wicket dot ball. There were 2 wickets in one Arshdeep over. That also put Bangladesh back. So all these factors certainly were showing that India were far more determined to win than Bangladesh.
As Saiba, you spoke about KL Rahul before the game started. You said that, listen, he has all the shots in the book. The only thing that may be ailing KL Rahul could be his confidence. He needs a bit of a swagger. Did you see that swagger in his batting today?
A little bit later, not the first couple of overs when he was just a little bit tentative. But once he connected with that 6, that flick, I think it was a different Rahul that we saw, because then his footwork was not that much more positive, going towards the ball, also moving around the crease a lot more confidently. There wasn't any tentativeness in his approach. The footwork, like in the beginning, the feet hardly ever moving. The front foot was just staying there, and therefore he was playing away from the body, playing and missing. But once he hit that six, it was a completely different situation.
Yes, and then maybe that confidence paid off in the piece of fielding that we spoke about, that game-changing moment. Saivai, again, a word on Virat Kohli. Sometimes does it do that to you, the ground that you step in? I know he's been in outstanding form this entire T20 World Cup, but is he now reached that stage once again where the Indian team knows that as long as Virat is there, we are in the game, and he's batting in that frame of mind too?
I lost the second of your question, but yes, I think every player has a favorite ground. A ground where he feels comfortable. The vibes of the ground are very good. The crowd, when the crowd comes in, they know that they're going to support you. So I think for Kohli, it is the Adelaide ground. That's where he got his first Test century. That's where he's got so many runs. That's where he got a century in each innings as a captain. That's where he's got 100 against Pakistan in the inaugural of the 2015 World Cup. And all these runs are runs where India needed those runs very badly, and that would certainly give him the belief that every time he comes to Adelaide, he will get runs. And he showed that again today with that innings.
Just overall, the performance of the Indian team, they stepped up when it was needed. But Saibai, what do you think could be the lessons that India can take from this game? Because up next is Zimbabwe. May not be a very tricky opposition, but looks like now Indian team is well on their way to the semi-final. What are the lessons that they can take from this game that will be much needed when they play a knockout like the semis?
Yes. Yes, I think if they beat Zimbabwe, they top the table. That would be the case, and that's what they'll be looking to do, because that means they will be able. Well, I suppose if Australia qualify, then they will play Australia and Sydney. But if Australia don't qualify, I think the top of the table in this group comes to play in Adelaide. And if you play in Adelaide, then clearly, because of the kind of fact that India seems to enjoy playing in Adelaide, they will be able to, well, hopefully they'll be able to win the semis and get to the finals.